Hi, you are watching SightsIn and this is Romesh. Please to subscribe the channel for the HR news, for HR updates, and conversation with the top-notch CHROs, thought leaders, and business heads. Today, we are going to discuss the performance management, how the performance management is evolved with the time, and how the emerging technologies, maybe like generative AI, maybe data analytics, machine learning, how these technologies are helping in performance management. Joining us, a renowned business leader, Mr. Rajesh Tripathi, is Chief Executive Officer at Kenbox Technologies, or you can also call it Prajjo. Rajesh ji, welcome to SightsIn Plus.
Thank you, Romesh. It's really honored to be with you today.
Rajesh ji, I was going through profile and I saw having around 3 decades of experience in human resources and with the renowned companies that maybe your Panisha Biotech, like Escorts, like GSCL. And before starting your Canbox Technologies, you have been CEO with the Dalmia Life Care. So how your this journey, how your this career journey has transformed in a leadership at the Kenbox right now?
Thank you, Romesh, for the question. It was like any other professional who is working in the corporate. My life, professional life, is of course having the same roller coaster experience. I started way back in 90s with a dream to make my own career, reach to a CEO level. But yes, today when I say this, it seems easy. But yes, these 3 decades have been full of experience, wherein good and bad. It is not always good and always bad. But yes, those good and bad moments in my career have given me a lot of insight, lot of exposure. And when I landed in CEO role, that is particularly helping me a lot, me taking decisions.
So that is absolutely great. And if we look at the current time, so I think we are in season of results right now. Many companies they have already done their performance reviews, performance of results, and many companies are still doing it. So, how do you see the performance management has evolved over the period of time? We have seen also bell curve kind of, then we also talk about 360, but there are also a lot of questions on the 360-degree. We are also talking about the continuous feedback. How do you see, what is your understanding? How do you see that it is evolved over the period of time?
The performance management system is one of the most critical processes for any organization to ensure not only engagement of employees, but also to get the output from all employees working for a company. Yes, 7 decades back, this process caught its traction in the market, and it came with MBO. And later, of course, there were a couple of more concepts which rolled out in the corporate. And the focus is how to make PMS robust, more employee engaged process wherein they give output to the organizations in the right direction. Efforts are being made and still are being made, but my experience is somewhere the complete process has not given back what it should be to the organizations. There could be many regions. If I share out of my experience, one is uh, how to write right KRAs, because as a human beings we all wish to get good results at the end of the annual assessment process. And because annual increment process has been linked to your increment, somewhere the tendency has been built among employees that not to write real KRAs, but only activities. And somewhere this is the challenge per se for the organizations and the managers, how to deal with it. Couple of concepts which try to resolve it, but to my knowledge, to my understanding, this is not being resolved so far. Beside this one particular, there's one more region which I say quite holding the process back is goal cascading. So when you're writing down your goals from top to down, there's no linkage happening in different hierarchies, and that is really holding it back. Perhaps because of these regions, employee engagement is really going down. and employee are really wary of writing KRAs. This is what I say in for the last 6, 7 decades. What and for the last 3 decades, I'm in the corporate, and which I feel like is really holding this process back.
No, absolutely. So it is still evolving, and a lot of challenges are with the PMS process. And how do you see that as a HR tech company, as a HR tech professional, how do you see these emerging technologies are helping into the PMS?
First thing first, which I say, Romesh, is how to understand the complete process. What is all required to be in this process? That clarity has to be there. To my understanding, somewhere it is missing out. This process, I said before, is being taken as if it is to give increments to the employees. To my understanding, this is not the end result of this process per se. If I say my experience and my way of thinking about this process, these two processes should be detached entirely. So performance management system and increment management system, they are not for one of the same region. Performance management system, as the word says, is to manage the performance of the employees so that the organizations can get their goals achieved in the right direction. That is what the process talking about. But somewhere, as I keep saying in this discussion, somewhere this got mingled up in these two set of drivers, one being the organization, second being the employees. Uh, because of this region, the process per se is missing out on four different aspects. As I said before, first it started with the goal clarity. Now, there's a lot of confusion among people when we use the terminologies, goals, KRAs, KPIs, KPAs, objectives. So these terminologies are really making more confusion in the market than the clarity among the end users, because 99% employees in any organization are from non-HR people, non-HR department function. So they need to have one meaning for these all words. Second, the challenge I said before is goal alignment. There's no goal element coming top down. CEOs at the top of the pyramid says something, at the bottom of the pyramid, the employer doing something else, right? There's no connectivity. Concepts came in market. Maybe I'll say balanced scorecard is one, and later I'll say old wine and new bottle is OKR. The efforts are being made how to align it, but somewhere all these efforts being made in the organizations are not giving right results. Third important point is for any organization, I say less than 1% of the people are from the HR departments. It means 99% are non-HR people. This 1% people in the organizations cannot write or go to all and each and every employees to write see the quality of the KRAs. So how to identify this unproductive KRAs is a big challenge for the HR people. Last and but not the least important point is how to disseminate business strategy. When you go down to the last hierarchy in the organizations, people are looking for what is the strategy of the company. And I think personally, performance management system is one cardinal process which can really help organizations to disseminate business strategy among all the peoples with clarity. So now these 4 or 5 factors which are really not giving or holding this process back, as keep saying again and again.
No, absolutely. If I look at the takeaways, so you said there should be these are two different processes. This is one is the performance management process, another is incentive or how you start with a salary hike. These process.
Right.
Another important factor you said that is goal setting. That is very important. How you clear about the goal, how you goal clarity. That is also very important. And third
Right.
important point is alignment of these goals. So these are very important points. So now, when we are looking at the performance PMS, if we are looking, so it is not just evaluation. This is we are also trying that employee must develop. They also enhance their performance. How they can enhance the performance. So in such a case, where you see that these technologies, new technologies like artificial intelligence, like machine learning, how these technologies are helping.
Somewhere, Romeshji, before I answer this question of yours, I think I missed one point to share here. One part is on goal cascading, alignment, goal clarity, identification of unproductive KRAs, and dissemination of knowledge, business strategy, and all that. Second, more important part is the people involved in the assessment of the people, how unbiased they are, how fair they are in their giving feedback to employees. My experience is that most of the time I have seen my managers, they give opinions about the employees rather than giving the right feedback to employees. Now, these opinions, attitude of managers getting into the feedback, and of course, the intent part is missing. So when I see my managers giving feedback to employees on particular KRA not being achieved by employees, they do not stick to that. They go around and start hitting the person per se, and that's wrong. Now, second, because employees at the receiving end, because all the data is being filled in manually. So there's a disconnect between what actually is happening and what employee is writing in the KRA sheet. And of course, we being human beings, we need to be biased to ourselves. The tendency is to write something better for himself or herself. Now, this disconnect is giving managers room to play with. Now, here is the case with the technology coming in. Now, this disconnect will be getting rid of the process. It means what I'm using the technology, maybe I'm integrating my PMS system with the ERP. The data is coming straight from the right source into the system. It is not somebody's filling in, and then of course he's doing something which is not being accepted by the manager or by the employee per se. So technology here is going to be very, very critical in terms of giving or forcing manager and employees both to give right feedback and receive right feedback.
It is helping in getting the feedback, you're getting the real-time data, you're getting the real data, and on the basis. So that gap, that somehow it is helping to fill that gap in
Yeah.
feedback process, continuous feedback process. So now another we are looking another terminology we are using sentimental analysis somehow. So how do you
Right.
see this sentimental analysis is how the technologies are helping in this?
Although it is too early to comment, yes, sentiment analysis has uh, come in place. A lot of efforts are being made how to capture sentiments through AI or ML or any other means or technology. But still, whatever it is there at the today's level, sentiment analysis is going to give a lot of input to employees, and of course, will help managers to stick to the real feedback. They should not be talking, giving their opinions. They should not be talking about the what they call the emotions, which is absolutely not right while giving feedback to employees. Because we being human being, somewhere naturally we understand the way you're talking to me. So if you give me something which is not acceptable to me, but I being a junior of yours, I may hold back myself in terms of receiving what you want to say to me. It means somewhere I'm not accepting what you're saying to me. Now, with the sentiment analysis, with NLP coming in picture, I think these things will be dealt very accurately in coming days, more robustly, I say rather. Now, I know there's a what they call process which is being used like polarity analysis, right? Now, it talks about, it takes into consideration power, the positiveness or the negativeness of what you're talking about to me, right? So it may help the employee. It may help in managers also, because managers are maybe I said, as I keep saying, 99% people are not from HR department. They are not from, I say, psychology department. They are technical people, or maybe some other functional knowledge they are having. So now, how to train them? Although companies are investing a lot of money in training employees or the managers, but still, it's not enough so far, to my understanding. So, like these processes, this technology, maybe as I said, polarity analysis, or maybe I say emotion detection tools, they will help both employees and the managers, and of course, the end benefit will be to the organizations.
Very true, very true. And now we will discuss more on technologies, but again, I want to go a little on the basic part. That what are the key components of if we talk about a successful, effective performance management system?
Key is how the top management uh, perceive, conceive uh, goals for the year, or one particular year, or maybe short term and long term. That's very critical. My experience is there a lot of companies do fail. They maybe on paper, maybe in boardrooms, they may be talking about some short term goals or long-term goals, but they are not getting converted into annual goals at the top level. And then if some efforts are being made at some level, it is not getting down to all the employees in right perspective. And unfortunately, there is no tool. Although, just to share here, Prajjo has got one concept, copyright, wherein we have this called GEP, and with GEP, we can align goal top down up to 95%. I think we are the first company to do it in the world. But still, we have to populate down, we have to disseminate this new concept in the market, and of course, let people start using it. But as of now, if I say go back, this is the crucial part when I write my goals at the top level for the long term and short term, the writing my annual goals, and that those goals are being understood by the functional managers rightly. And what we call KPAs or objectives. Now, from KPAs or the objective, you have to write about KRAs and write KPIs. Now, there's a dilemma. I say there's science and art behind writing KRAs. You might have heard there that the lot of people writing first KRA. There are multiple KPIs under one KRA. It means you might have seen that one employee is getting up to 20 KPIs in a year to be achieved. Now, all academically, it is being accepted that a human being cannot focus on more than 4 to 5 action points in a year. But I don't know. I can't comment on that because it is being seen as by many of the people, they are writing multiple KPIs under one KRA. So I think we have to stick to that we have only 4 to 5 KRAs, KPIs, which are being given to employees, and they have to focus, they have to achieve. That's one point. Second point is KRA writing is not completely capturing what is supposed to be done in a position. No, when you start writing KRA, you start writing activities as if everything being covered under KRAs. No, it is very, very clear if you look into the textbook that the KRAs are where the organizations feel there is a room for improvement, or something is happening very good, how to improve it better, make it better and better, not to cover the entire piece of a position. So there are two, I think, part which need to be very clearly taken care of by managers and employees, and of course the organizations.
Setting the objective and setting the KRAs and KPIs, that is very important part of any PMS process. Now, again, if we look at the technology part, so we are also looking predictive analytics somehow, and here with the artificial intelligence, it plays also very important role. And that is not only in performance management, it plays in various, maybe also employee engagement, also in recruitment, everyone. How do you see this technology is helping to the PMS guides?
Now, predictive analysis, I think, is the buzzword today, and I think it is really giving a lot of meaning, a lot of input to organizations, of course, the end users as well. I feel personally that this technology is going to help organizations a lot in coming days as this technology getting more and more mature. A lot of work is being happening around this AI or predictive analysis. That's what I say. Second important point is under productive analysis, the importance to be given to what is required by the organization. I see one more thing happening in the market, that lot of data is getting generated, sometimes necessarily and maybe sometimes not necessarily. Right? I'm not using the word unnecessary, but yes. Now, one has to be very clear, organization point of view, position point of view, what is actually required. Now, I've been sitting at Kenbox, and we being the HR tech company, having 54 modules, and I think the first company to have a couple of copyrighted patents in our name. And a lot of many organizations are working as our customers. I see their tendency to get more and more data. When I ask this question, what you're going to do with this data, they do not have answers. Now, I have one very large company, which is our customers, and they're asking me n number of reports. So I just talked to the concerned manager, why are you looking for these reports? And he says, no, this is the practice happening for the last couple of years in this company. So it means just to have reports is one thing, but categorically, if you require some data, that data is going to help you in production in coming days, going to help you as an employee, maybe as a manager, or maybe an organization, that has to be taken care of, and that should come from the top down. because when at the bottom of the pyramid, the tendency is getting built that what is being asked uh, necessarily or unnecessarily, that is getting generated, and that is somewhere not helping organizations. That has to be there from the top down.
Absolutely, and I think this is well accepted that regular feedback, continuous feedback, regular improvement, that is the key of development of any employee. And if we look at the technology part, so what are your tools, what are your technologies which are helping HR leaders for the PMS, for the employee engagement?
Romeshji, my take on this is that all HR leaders need to come together and challenge our concepts. Maybe a little radical, but yes, we should not be accepting certain concept on their face value, because if that concept got accepted at one point is not helping you, we should be ready to look at the concept per se, and that's not happening. In terms of HR, I think we are following certain concepts which are very old, and those concepts are not giving you any value. So I say that is the challenge which all we need to attack, resolve. Uh, Coming back to performance management system, as I said before, it is the management of performance as per the wish of the organization. It means my process should be able to take me to the direction, to the level of performance where this organization wants to take us to. And that's not happening. It means if I say I have to achieve a target of, I say, 100 crore in revenue, how it is going to help you in achieving that 100 crore revenue? How the profitability is to be achieved? How the performance management system is taking care of these two, I think, the critical business objectives. Now, if you are not able to take it down to the last person, perhaps it becomes a matter of not to achieve that. Now, one second point is my concepts. My concept means I'm talking about the HR concept or the business concepts which we keep reading in books. They're primarily focusing on profitability of the revenue. There are efforts being made which are independent of these two objectives. It's called efficiency building, and leastly we talked about effectiveness. Put together these four projects, what we call as we got the copyright of this concept of in a larger perspective, the growth, profit, revenue, what you call, and maybe efficiency and effectiveness. Directly, indirectly, every employee should be able to contribute to revenue and profitability. If not, it means they are doing some unproductive activity. And this is what I think is the nodal point which all we need to understand. This need to be understood by all the employees and the managers equally. If not, perhaps this process will remain a process on the books only, and perhaps this will not give us the result what we are looking from out of this process. Second part to add here is the biases. No, I still remember, just to quote here, of course, I will not name the company which I was working at. On one single KRA, I got lower rating, my senior got higher rating on the same KRA. Now, this biases, when they go around as a story in the organizations, the employees do not work in the manner which they should be, because they know if even I do not do, the things will be like this only. And this things is something which we say, whatever I do, whatever I do not do, I will be getting this increment or that increment, right? So these things really hamper the practice of having right performance management system, which we need to address.
So if I try to conclude this with this technology, so these technologies are, of course, helping in biases, how you can walk into moving the biases part. Second, how you're getting the real-time data so that you can your process of continuous feedback that can be expedited and that could be more transparent. Now, if I look at your product, so how you are using these technologies and developing your product, and would like to share any couple of products which are helpful for the HR fraternity.
So I let me answer you this way. this question of yours has two parts. One part is the process piece, right? So process piece means how the technology helping employees and their managers in writing right KRAs, right? That's important. As I said at the beginning, that the role clarity in terms of the goal writing, then goal cascading, goal alignment, identification of unproductive KRAs, and of course dissemination of business knowledge. Now they are the processes part which we need to understand, and there's no choice to this, right? To my knowledge, there's no per se process which can help these all being addressed together. At Prajjo level, we could resolve it. As I said somewhere, that we are trying to challenge every aspect, every concept in business, so that when we are rolling out our products, they are really foolproof, or better than, as if not foolproof, at least better than what you seeing nowadays. So this is one part. Second part is the how you use it. So when it goes to employee and the managers, if they are not able to understand it in a very simple manner, the acceptance will not be there. The usability will not be there. So at Prajjo level, if I talk only one product called Performance Management System, what we call here SGR, Strategy, Goals, and Review, we're taking care of the strategy part. That is very, very critical. Otherwise, we keep writing goals and we keep assessing people, and that is not in line with the strategy of the company. So this is what we call under strategy. Goals, as we understand, goals coming down from the top goes to the last person in the organization, and of course, how you review it. So this is process part. Now coming to review part, how you remain unbiased, how you are transparent, how you are fair to employees. And there we are minimizing the interference of humans. So human interventions in the process being minimized by our process. It means data has to be collected or on its own. It should not be by the employees per se, and they say, okay, fine, my rating is this and his rating is that. No. So that being captured rightly. So the transparency is there, fairness is there. If you are not able to achieve, not achieve. And of course, how to then analyze that. So you talk about predictive analysis. Now, in my career of 30 plus years, when you ask employees, why did not you achieve this KRAs, they will give you umpteen excuses, and those excuses are written in the performance appraisal forms, and no one has time to really look at all these excuses given by the employees. Now, in our system, we have taken this piece very significantly in a manner that at the end of the process, the HR manager or the function manager should be able to analyze why employees in my company are not able to achieve results, so that they can really handle them after the process part. So it means we are taking care of all these three. So starting just to summarize it, one is the process part in terms of identification of goals, then goal clarity, then goal alignment, goal cascading, dissemination of business strategy, and of course, identification of unproductive KRAs. On the execution part, how employees are being treated fairly in transparent manner, and of course, in unbiased manner. And third piece, as I said, is how these two are interlinked with minimal human interventions, so that the credibility of the process per se is being achieved and delivered to organizations.
I think we have been able to discuss all the important elements of this topic. Anything else which is important and we did not touch here, like to share?
One thing, as I said, again, to reiterate that HR process should not be taken in isolation. When I talk about performance management system, although of course it is a cardinal and of course can be seen distinctively by employees and the managers of organizations, but they're interconnected. It means how you are building up your performance improvement plans coming out of your performance management system, how you are taking care of the training and development of employees in effective manner, how auto TNI is helping in employees getting right training for them, coming out again from performance management system. So likewise, again, you go back to your the expected outcome, that is increment in your salary. All these processes need to be seen in one bigger basket than in isolation, and that's what is not happening in the market. That's my experience. I may be wrong, because I cannot be I cannot say it's blanket being happening, but yes, it is my experience that this is not happening in one process delivering end results to organizations.
The takeaways are very clear that any PMS process that should be very, first you should be very clear with your objective. What is your objective? If your goals are not clear, then you can't reach anywhere. So goal clarity is very important. Then how you work on the transparency part, how it is bias free. So these are very important things, not only for the PMS, for any of the HR policy. These technologies may be artificial intelligence, maybe machine learning, maybe predictive analytics, maybe sentimental analysis. These technologies are helping it to make more transparent, more bias-free, and more convenient for the charities. Thank you so much, Rajeshji, for joining the conversation and sharing your wonderful thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you for the honor. Thank you very much.